Hi everyone and welcome in this very special event for the Metalswap project. Ciao Tiziano and ciao Lorenzo.
Ciao Marco. Hi
Ciao Marco,
everyone.
hi guys.
Hi everyone. Today we are here because I think that with no exaggeration we can say that this is the hottest week for the Metalswap project since the launch on 2021. Am I right?
Yeah, many things
For
all
sure.
together.
For sure.
Okay, let's jump into them.
Yeah, let's go. So starting from the main event of today, so the launch of the application on the layer 2, we can say that we can see already from the landing page the new chain available. Here I'm in the main website, and so going to the here supported networks, you can see that now the application has 4 chains and not 3 anymore. So Optimism can be considered layer 2 of Ethereum. Here we can see that on Ethereum, we had the hedging swap solution, the governance, the smart pools, the Alpha Club with the NFTs, liquidity pools, bridge, iron pools, exchange, legacy pools, and synthesizers, all the releases done until now. And at the moment, we can see that deployed on layer 2, we have the hedging swap solution for the first time deployed on another chain other than Ethereum, because on BNB and Polygon, we had other services. And this is the main thing of today.
Yes, we can see that. Also by the color of our t-shirts.
Yeah, exactly. We are very excited, even if we are developers, and so we cannot jump on our chairs because every day there is something new to do. And even if we did a lot until now, there is always new things to work on. And so, as we already have seen on our Twitter, there is a very hot calendar. And today was the live event, this one, with this big announcement. But actually, the announcements are 2, not only the deployment on Optimism. So now we go deep on this main announcement, but there is another one, very, very important. And then every day for a week, there will be something, starting from tomorrow, where there will be the explanation of a new quest campaign, something more later about this. Then on Wednesday, there will be the deep dive in the distribution for Optimism, because the new infrastructure that we just saw here, but we will see the release on the actual D app, is incentivized with the grant received from Optimism. So we can see here the 30K OP that will be distributed in the dApp, and we will see shortly how, and then there will be a deep dive also on Wednesday. Then there will be the new hedging swap use case studied with an article on our blog, and then the unveiling of smart contract automation, the new system released on Chainlink, and this will be a very big update for all the system. And then the swap competition launch, because now we had a break on the swap competitions. We were waiting for the new release on Optimism. Now the fees are very, very low. The first call to action will be to try the new dApp on Optimism, because you will see the decrease is incredible. So until now, maybe to open a position, you had to pay something like $10 in Ethereum fees, when the days were with a low GWay fee. And now the fees are something like 4-5 cents. We will see that. So a lot to see, and we go directly to Optimism, because here we have already the functionality to go from the landing page to the app, opening the new application, and this is the reason why we had these red t-shirts today. Everything is in red. And this is the new front end for Metalswap. Something very, very nice, I can say. And the new coming here is also the new asset, OP. With this asset, every stakeholder or every holder of the governance token of Optimism can protect himself against the volatility of this asset. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Lorenzo and Marco, that is the first time in DeFi that you have the possibility to hedge against the volatility of OP. And this was one of the reasons why Metaswap was able to reach the grant from them.
Yes, as far as I know, is the only way to cover yourself from price volatility in OP token, which is the most important token in Optimism network, obviously. And Metaswap team just released a blog post a couple of days ago, which is use cases DeFi. How can you protect yourself while you are a DAO member? Because if you have the token, you want to vote for DAO decision, and you want maybe to cover yourself up to not to lose a lot of counter value while you are holding some OP token. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant.
Yeah, just to remember that on the blog, on the official blog, so blog.metaswap.finance, that you can find, of course, also in the main page. We are releasing, the Metaswap team is releasing a new use case every week or something like that at the moment. So just to understand how important it is to protect the assets against the volatility of the market. And we saw also during these last days how volatile it is, the market, because even if the prices are going up in this case, there is always a reason why to protect, also when the prices are going up. Or maybe the application can be used also to long a position, to have an exposition for the pricing going up. And this will be something we will cover in the future, because many person I noticed that didn't understand that this instrument, this tool, is useful also for retail investors and not only for institutional investors. Of course, this will be the main target, because the hedging swaps are one of the services, the tools mostly used by institutional investors. Anyway, I was in the DAP, and here there is also another news, an important one, that we can see already from here. Here I'm on the mainnet of Optimism, and as you can see, the new rewards are now in OP and XMT. This is the big news, and the rewards are from the Optimism grant. The details are in the new blog post, the one I had opened before. So we can see already the new distribution here. Then we will go directly to the main point, the new scaling solution and the costs. But we have 20K OP grant for the hedging swap opening. This means that every time you open an hedging swap, you will receive at the end of the position, at the expiration date, the current liquidity reward that you will see already in the DAP. So in this case, for example, 58 XMT and 55 OP. This depends on the premium that you are paying, and everything will be incentivized or not in base of the position you're opening, if the swap is going against the market or not. Everything will be covered in this week during the next blog that we saw in the calendar coming on Wednesday. Am I right, Lorenzo?
Yes, Wednesday will be a deep dive in 30K OP distribution because Metalswap team created a great feature, actually, which is kind of complex if you have to deep dive, but easily to use because you just have to open an engine swap or, as we will see later, create an NFT staked liquidity position. But if you want to understand how this help Metalswap to be used more, you have to deep dive and understand how also to catch some occasion you will have, because sometimes you can open a position and pay less premium that what you get back from OP token value. So there will be some occasion, and people who wants to deep dive, I advise to you to read that article. Will be so cool, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is one of the opportunity you have, because another one will be to to become a liquidity provider in the system, because the position are covered by pools, and these pools that you can find, that we can find here directly on swap liquidity position or liquidity pools. We can see how much there is inside the system and how much can be opened. So the open position are based on this liquidity, and the liquidity at the moment is covering the 4 assets for Optimism, with a total value locked of 61K. The first 60K were provided by the DeFi Foundation as we saw in the proposal before the launch, and now everyone can participate. The difference we have now, instead, in comparison to what happened until now on Ethereum, is that this liquidity providing is incentivized by OP and XMT. To be honest, also in the Ethereum DApp, there was an incentivized liquidity provided by XMT rewards. The only reason why it was not convenient to take this risk to deposit liquidity here was that the rewards were very low. In this moment, the rewards are very high, provided by the Optimism grant, and you can see, you will be able to see how much they are from the deep dive that we will have in the next article. Anyway, this was a big step forward, because until now the risk was taken only by the foundation, and now the liquidity providing will be open to all the users because they are incentivized by the rewards. Everything has been already audited by 30K, so all the auditing has been concluded. This will be another article we will release soon, as soon as everything will be finished by our developers, and every aspect will be checked and replied to the auditor. But I can say that everything has been already checked the second time, because the first time the swap was already audited during the Ethereum release, and now on the L2 release we had another step of auditing, and maybe on that Marco is better prepared than me, because you followed all the steps.
Yeah, sure. We did a second round of auditing by 30K on this L2 hedging swap smart contracts. And as you just said, we of course waited for the preliminary report to come out before releasing the smart contracts on mainnet. And on this preliminary report, which is still private, there are no critical findings by 30K, and soon you will be able to see the public report, as we did on the Ethereum mainnet launch back in last year.
Perfect. So everything will be published and public also from the 30K dashboard page, and so also from the third-party partner. And more than that, so very important is to keep in mind that now we have double reward here for liquidity providing, and as I said, here for the hedging swap positions, both on XMT and OP. This is the main update, but the most concrete thing is that now all the system is usable with a very low cost. And we wrote something already here. I saw it. Anyway, the costs, as I said, are very, very low. From something that we're going from $10 to $80 on Ethereum in a very congested days to something like 5 cents now with the Optimism chain. This is the power of a layer 2 and optimistic roll-up. And this is only the beginning.
Yes, Tiziano, you said before that this is a retail tool, and I'm sure that is correct. But when you have to pay from $10 to $80 on Ethereum chain, you cannot say this is a retail tool. So now is really something that is accessible from everyone. You can open a position having a really lower cost.
Yeah, for sure. It makes all the difference, because when you have to cover yourself for an equivalent of, I don't know, $200 paying in some days $40, $50 only for transaction fees, it makes no sense. And this was one of the reasons why the tool was very difficult to try. Now everything changes. Now everything is very smooth, and the first call to action by my side is to try the new application on Optimism, even because now it's very incentivized also from the OP rewards. But anyway, it offers a coverage for your positions. It offers a tool to learn a lot about DeFi, because there is liquidity providing, there is hedging, and maybe for the first time in DeFi there is an instrument dedicated to the hedging positions. Until now we saw a lot of speculation and a lot of speculative instruments when we think about futures or leverage position. Here you can use the leverage to cover yourself, and the use cases are a lot, from the staking to liquidity providing in other dApps. And we have a lot of use cases in our blog. This is something very important to keep in mind. And then today we have also other announcements, because today is a very rich day. And one of them is that also the Celercy bridge integrated the bridge for the native token XMT. So all the rewards you collect on the layer 2 can be bridged back on the layer 1. This is the main reason why the bridge was activated, because I want to remember everyone that the token is used for the governance, for the proposals and the voting, and the proposals with the DAO are still on the mainnet, on the Ethereum mainnet. And this will be maybe another reason for the future to think about the DAO and where to move with it. But this is another topic for another day. At the moment, the bridge is integrated also in the dApp. So if we see here from the landing page, we have already live the hedging swap that we already saw, the liquidity pools, so the liquidity providing we saw before, the bridge, and clicking, we go directly to the bridge, is the seller network bridge integrated inside the DApp. So without going outside of the DApp, you already have the solution here, or clicking here, tokens, bridge, and then the exchange. This is Uniswap, the smart contract from Uniswap integrated inside the front end of Metalswap. And this can be useful to exchange the assets directly here without leaving the page. For example, if you need some USDC or Ether from one of your position, you can exchange. There are no added fee to this system. The fees are coming directly from Uniswap. It's an interface, it's a front-end interface calling the smart contracts on Uniswap. And everything on layer 2, of course. Everything is used always on Optimism. I don't know if to go directly to the other big news of today. Actually, I wanted to show before the conceptual map, so maybe I have to share another window. But if you want to add something, meanwhile, I prepare the other window. You can do it.
I think that one of the most important things that we have to say that is the new asset in the app, so people can cover themselves from the price of OP, which is a DAO governance token. And I've seen in the last 6 months that OP has done an incredible run from $1 to $3, then back to $1. So, price volatility is actually a thing in DeFi, and OP token, which is not a big token, for example, like Rapid Bitcoin and Ethereum, has a greater volatility. So more than ever, we will find people that needs this cover position. So that is one of the most important thing. And now the game is, maybe everyone can say on the forum which will be the next assets in our D app, which will be your favorite one. Tell us in the forum, write it in the forum, because this is one of the most important thing. Find new use cases, new assets, and situation where people have to cover themselves from price volatility of that X token.
Sure. As we said also in the past year, maybe someone can remember this conceptual map, or maybe someone sees it for the first time. We had on the native, on the EdgeSwap DApp, a series of native digital assets. We had Ether, we had wrapped BTC, and now there is also OP. What I mean with native digital assets, what Lorenzo was saying is very important. If we think about the DeFi at the moment, there are assets present only in the crypto world, like Ether, like BTC, Bitcoin, like OP, the governance token of Optimism. And for example, Optimism now started to release a lot of tokens to incentivize new applications like us to go on the layer 2. They did in the past some rounds of airdrops. So the inflation of the token is very high. They every time increase the numbers of users and the numbers of users on the layer 2, and so the demand also increase, but at the same time there is a lot of offer. This creates this volatility on the market, and if you are interested in the governance of the token, of course one reason to use Metalswap could be to protect yourself against this volatility. This is why we decided to insert the token of the layer 2 solution, and is a very very low cost solution to integrate. And so it was easy for us to integrate the RC20 token. This is a normal standard. More difficult will be to insert real world assets, because real world assets need to be issued by someone. For example, USDT is a real world asset, we can say, is pegged to the dollar, and so someone has to have all the dollars backed to issue new tokens. The most important example is Pax Gold. It's the representation of gold on our system, and we had another round of proposal with the two solution. One was to consider the gold issued by Tether itself, or this one by Paxos, for some reason that you can read in the documentation, that you can read also in the past proposal. The system and the DAO voted for Pax Gold. And these are solutions that the system can integrate, but is not the reason why Metaswap was born, to issue new token. The issuance is something that is coming from other system, and Metaswap can use these tokens. So now in the system there are these 5 assets, and then they are used 5 more USDC, we can say. So here in the collateralized assets, we can add also USDC now, because USDC is the stable coin used on Optimism. So now I'm missing one here. And another part of the conceptual map that I already colored with this color is this one. So the efficiency part. In the previous episode of this update, we had all this ramification of the conceptual map in gray. So nothing was done until now. And now we can see that the efficiency part became orange. This is the color we decided to give to this part. We have the layer 2 solution on Ethereum with optimistic rollups. Maybe not everyone knows that the optimistic rollups are a big family. Optimism is one solution of this kind. Actually, they are building an OP stack, and under Optimism, there is now, for example, Base, the solution from Coinbase. There is OP BNB. So also Binance is building its solution based on Optimism, and so on, like this one. And then there is also Arbitrum, or Arbitrum is another optimistic rollup solution. Then there is the other big family, the zero knowledge proof rollups. And this other family is the newest, coming only this year to life. And we have, for example, a solution like Polygon ZK EVM. Now also the new Polygon 2 solution will be on this family. The ZK BNB solution, the ZK Sync Era solution, the Scroll solution, and now a new one, is not already in mainnet, but only on testnet, is Linea. Linea is coming directly from Consensus. Consensus is, I can say, one of the most important part of Ethereum, the mother of Infura, of MetaMask. So everyone using MetaMask is using a tool provided by Consensus. And Consensus decided to deploy a solution, a L2 solution based on ZK rollups called Linea. I'm telling you that because this is part of the new and last announcement of today. So we were not happy of releasing only one L2 solution in one day, and the other one is related to this one. So I change again the window.
There is a question before switching topic related to the optimism.
Yeah, Alberto is asking, will be a NFT stake pool in OP? Yes, Alberto. As Tiziano said before, we won this grant in Optimism, so we will have 10k OP token to distribute to people who liquidity providing the DApp. So if you give liquidity to the DApp, provide liquidity, you create an NFT. This NFT, if you decide to stake it, you will get some OP, some of that the 10k OP. So this will be an NFT stake pool, okay? And you have to leave that NFT staked for 6 months, starting from now. If you start in 1 month, you will be staked only for 5 months, and etc. And if you unstake before, you don't will get OP. So that is important. If you decide to stake, you have to be staked for 6 months until the end of distribution. I think that will be 23rd of December of this year. So 6 months starting from now.
Yeah, we can share the screen. I add something so we can show it better.
Yeah.
So in the liquidity pool part of the system, as it happened for Polygon, in this case, the liquidity providing will be not for the exchange, because on Polygon, when you create NFT positions, they are used for the Uniswap DEX to exchange the token. Here, they are used for the hedging swap part of the system. And this part, as Lorenzo said, is an NFT. You can choose to provide one of the single asset. So, for example, you can provide Ether, USDC, Wrapped BTC, or OP, or all together, every one of them. Everyone will create a new NFT, as Lorenzo was saying. And this NFT can be or cannot be staked on the system. Don't worry about that, because we are creating tutorials for that and articles and everything. Now everything is new. You can try, because the costs are very low. There is a minimum to provide as liquidity provider, but the costs are very, very low. And as I said, just try it out because it's impressive. Maybe with 4 or 5 cents, you can open your position and create your NFT. So mint your NFT. And with that, you will receive the XMT rewards. These are provided every day, so every 24 hours. But the main important news is that you receive the OP part only if you take your NFT and stake it for a period of time that goes around 180 days, so 6 months more or less. This is the period in which the campaign of the grant is going on. And this is very important. Maybe we have here, yes, we have here the message. So you can stake your NFTs for more rewards until the 23rd of December of this year. And in that moment, everything you collected will be received in your address. So OP and all your position if you want to remove it. This is important because in this way, we have the possibility to lock the liquidity or to leave the liquidity free to withdraw, because there are reasons why you want to lock your liquidity or not. If you lock it, you receive the double of the rewards. If you keep it free, of course, you receive less rewards, only the XMT rewards, but you are free to go whenever you want. And one of the reasons why the system was taught in this way is that the liquidity provided by the DeFi Foundation will not be put in staking. So at the moment, the majority of this liquidity that you can see here is provided by the foundation, and the foundation will not stake, so will not participate in the OP distribution. This means that the first persons providing liquidity in this moment are receiving the most of the reward, and this will decrease with most of the people participating, with more people participating.
Yes, I think this is a quite fair feature, because if you get XMT liquidity reward and OP liquidity reward. So if you want to be part of this occasion, you have to stay in the DApp 6 months. I think that this is quite fair, because there will be, I think, great APY. So you have to be there. The things is that is quite good is that all the NFT are liquid, so you can stake if you want every time, but you know that you will lose not the XMT but the OP token reward.
Oh, yeah. And this is a completely new feature, because I would like to thank Alberto for the question, because we didn't have this on the Ethereum mainnet. We had the NFT staking on Polygon, as Tiziano was saying, but this is a completely different feature.
Yeah, it's a completely new one and related to the edging swap tool.
Yep.
And everything will be explained in the articles, in the documentation, so in the docs that you can find directly here. All the documentation can be found here, how to use the Metalswap solution and everything, and it will be added also that part. In general, if you go to docs, you can see everything already released in this column, and soon there will be the new explanation for the optimism providing. If we are done with the questions, I go directly. I don't know if there is another. Okay. Thanks, Alberto, anyway. And the other big news of today is the announcement done directly by Linea. As I said, Linea is a product of Consensus. And in this new campaign, they did a lot of campaigns to test the new solution, the new chain, the layer 2 solution, as explained before. And this last one is dedicated to the DeFi ecosystem. So every app participating in this run is a DeFi, so decentralized finance application. And in this very small set of application, you can read the name of Metalswap. And I'm pretty proud of this, because if you can see, the other names are important. I want to thank again Linea for the consideration and all the Consensus team for that. So we can see PancakeSwap, for example, or Compound, SushiSwap here, Kyber Network, and others. All these applications can be tested on Linea, and the campaign is already live on Galsi. Another call to action of today will be to try this application. We can leave the links directly on this live stream.
Yeah.
Everything is explained directly here, and they mention Metaswap as, of course, a volatility hedging solution. They say, for example, some of the tasks involved in this week will include swapping tokens on several partners' DApp. But there are many cool stuff that you will be able to test out, from borrowing USDC with Ether collateral on Compound to testing out volatility hedging on Metaswap. You will also be able to test out PancakeSwap v3 on Linea, make a swap on Uniswap, doing cross-chain swaps on Kashmir, testing out KyberSwap on Linea testnet. This week will be full of activities. And I can say the activities are a lot. The list is long. And here you can also find the quest related to Metaswap. Here I already did that because I wanted to try it out. Anyway, you can collect points, and these points will be used to achieve a ranking to receive the linear airdrop. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not, but the idea is that one, you will be rewarded for the points you accumulate in this campaign. Anyway, this is a very big announcement because this is a ZK solution and can be another test solution for Metaswap. Of course, everything in case all the community likes this solution should be proposed on the DAO and the governance ecosystem, and then well written, voted, and in case developed. In this moment, everything is working on the testnet ecosystem. Here you can find in the going directly to the campaign, you will see the tutorial details or details directly from Galsi, and Galsi is linking to the documentation released directly by Linea. So here we are on the Linea website, and you can see the Metaswap tutorial on how to obtain the points for the campaign. And here there is a link to the testnet Linea metaswap.finance. Now the new colors, the colors difference from the red we are writing today, because are related to the Linea ZK solution. And in this case, everything is free because it's a testnet, so you can use the Ether on Linea Girly. Try it out also here because it's another scaling solution, and maybe we can receive feedback for this solution, and I don't know what can be bring from this solution in the future.
Yeah, maybe we can change our t-shirt in blue one for this occasion. But I think that one of the most important thing is that a lot of people, really a lot of people, are using this Linea Voyage quest. Sometimes 500,000, sometimes 1 million people that are doing this CTA actually. And we've seen 3K people participate in a few hours, I think, because 3-4 hours. So there will be a great occasion for Metalswap to be on the spotlight, a great spotlight.
Yeah, this is important. You're right, because a lot of times, and I can say they are right. A lot of people were questioning in the official Telegram group. What are the plans to let the application known outside from Italy, for example, or known in the DeFi ecosystems? We thought that in this phase of the market, is useless to, I don't know, pay an influencer to talk about the application, because you are just throwing out money and maybe burning dollars for nothing. These occasions are what are really pushing the knowledge of the ecosystem of the application internationally, because now in only 4 hours we can see 3,000 persons, real persons, trying these dApps. And if we see the past campaigns in Linea, the last one reached 500,000 of users testing. And so in my point of view, this is the best occasion to show to the world what Metaswap is building. We have to be patient because at the moment the market is what it is, even if this week was very positive, we can say, but last year was a bear market and a lot of people went away from this sector. But everything can be done only if a system or a product build in these moments. These are the moments where you have to build something and to show what you are building. And these are the ways, one of the main way. But we already thought about building our own campaign on Galse. More on that in a short future.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys want to add something, because for today the the news are a lot, and I just leave to the person the curiosity of working on the new solution. So just going directly from the Metalswap.finance website, clicking around, trying the Optimism DApp, and with a very few cost of gas, you can open your position, you can do liquidity providing. If you are not used to the scaling solutions or to add new blockchain to your MetaMask, there are tutorials and documentations from our blog or from our website. So here in the blog, or maybe I lost the blog here, we already released a tutorial on how to use the bridge. I remember that.
Yeah, how to use Optimism.
Here.
And the next article is how to bridge. So which is Metalswap. There's other network in MetaMask actually, and the bridge operation.
Perfect. So this can be useful not only for Metalswap, but in general, how to move from layer 1 Ethereum mainnet to the layer 2 Optimism solution in general. And so can be useful for everyone. And then from that point, so having Ether on Optimism, you can operate and work as you already learned on the mainnet Ethereum solution, doing that also on Optimism.
Yeah, there's a most important thing that Metalswap is not on Optimism accidentally. I think that this is the future of DeFi. Scaling Ethereum has won the battle, and so be on Optimism will be undefined for the next, I think, 3 years, 4 years. So be Optimism, ZK solution, Arbitrum. So understanding that is very important if you want to stay in DeFi.
Yeah, I think everything will move on layer 2 solutions. Everything will be executed on L2, and then only the proofs of the execution will be written on Ethereum. So Ethereum will be scalable in this way. This is the goal of the Ethereum Foundation, of Vitalik, and all the ecosystem, because everything can be really interesting for the mass adoption only if reaches a definitive scaling solution with low cost, efficiency, and scalability in general. And this can be reached with these new solutions, and everyone is interacting between one and another, between bridges and other solutions, like, for example, Seller. Seller is a third-party solution, is a network of validators, and makes possible to interact between, I don't know, one L2 to an Ethereum mainnet solution, or to other L2. For example, you can move funds between Arbitrum and Optimism. They are part of the same family I showed you before, but you can move funds or assets between them and paying only fees directly from Optimism or Arbitrum, and paying very few cents for the movements, for the transferring. Another part that we forgot today is the liquidity providing. And liquidity providing can be done for the bridge for XMT also on Seller, and this will be a news for a coming week.
Too much for today.
Too much for today.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all. For
Okay.
all the questions, we are reachable on Telegram or directly here under the video for every doubt or help.
Okay. Great live, guys. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
See you next.